Good morning, party people. It's been a while since I did a video. Things are kind of slow today, so I figured I would. My God, there's just a whole bunch of things that I probably want to talk about. I'm probably going to forget some things because, of course, the video is unscripted. But first, before I get started, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that gray notification bell in the upper right hand corner. This way you'll be made aware of any future videos that I do if you are a glutton for punishment. And I appreciate the gluttons that I have so far subscribing. That being said, I've always felt like from what I've seen with a lot of the major Uber tubers is to me, my approach needs to be no frills. And I'm not into a bunch of gimmicks. I've seen some people, I respect the ones who've built their channel holding true to the content, the way they want to present it. Some have decided to focus more on presenting news about rideshare and so forth and so forth, be it both locally in their markets and abroad. I love it. I've relied on that as the premise for educating myself in being able to do it the way I do it here. I'm not going to beat up on any Uber tuber rideshare person, whether they drive today or not. I'm not taking away from the experience that they have had when ride sharing first came on the scene. I'm not taking away from any of that. I'm going to give them the same respect and level of expertise as someone who goes out and does 100 trips a day. You don't take away their intellectual property today just because they stopped driving yesterday. And with the number of subscribers that some of these individuals have, there's a constant flow of up to the minute information on what's going on throughout the country. So I respect them. I'm not mad at the simple driver who found a way to step outside of the box of being behind this wheel and is making tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it, be it through his website, his referrals, his coaching, any of those things. At the end of the day, we're here to make money, period. For those of us who are out there lying about how much we make, you need to get a better hobby. If you're not out here making the money and you're out here complaining and constantly upset and you're mad and disgruntled because it's Uber's fault that they're not paying you enough, this is the wrong thing for you. Business in itself, although it would be nice when employers take into account their employees and treat them fairly and all of these things, and in many cases that's why unions came to be, because by the very nature of business that was never the case. But you have to find a way to make it work, and if it's not working, stop fucking complaining and find something else to do. If people are saying that they're not getting minimum wage and they can go out and make more money working at McDonald's, I can bet you can find a McDonald's that has a hiring sign and's got room for you. Simple as that. For the ones who's complaining about the fact that they're trading off the mileage for their car and the wear and tear, and they're subsidizing, I've heard that word used, and it's a whole bunch of things. Like, listen, you have to take it, once again, I'm telling you, you have to take this from a business perspective, from top to bottom. And if you're not accounting, and I'm using the word accounting, for wear and tear on your vehicle and gas and tolls and maximizing your deductions and treating your operation as an independent contractor, as a business, where you can sit down and look at the math and tell whether you're making money or not, this is not for you. You can't get into this vehicle other than a little spare change, you know, a little quick money, real quick, you know, if you're lucky, depending on the market that you're in. That's the only way you're going to do it. And that's the only way it's going to make sense. Not every market are you going to be fortunate enough to come out and in 2 or 3 or 4 hours make a couple $100. From what I hear, that's not happening nowhere. You know, the ones that's making that kind of money, $200, $300, $400 a day, are the ones that are out there 8 or 10 hours a day. Again, I respect it. I'm not mad at anyone who has to go out and is willing to go out and work hard for the money that they need and want to make. In the last few weeks, Lyft has done some craziness where they're basically saying, hey, we're going to pay you from the time you get the request for a trip, you know, straight through. And this is going to put more money in your pocket. And I've seen some in-depth analysis from some of these YouTube videos. Like, it's down to a science. And again, I'm sitting here as someone who does rideshare drive, as someone who does subcontract for Lyft and Uber. And I'm saying, if you've done this for 2 or 3 days and you can't tell that you're taking a loss, if you know, engage in what Lyft is trying to do in terms of their reform, this is not for you. It's not. And if you're going to sit here and say, well, they're doing this, but I'm still going to work for Lyft and be disgruntled and unhappy and complain about it, this is not for you. If you're stuck in a situation where you feel you have to do it, even though you're taking a loss, I'm sorry to hear that. But what you shouldn't do is come up on YouTube and start complaining about it. Also, I don't care how big of a Uber tuber you are, you know, at the end of the day, you got to realize that the folks that are running Uber and Lyft, whether they are or they aren't, they figure that they're a lot smarter than any average driver. And I'm not saying I agree with that, but I'm just saying this is the approach. It's a matter of pride. I'm a bigwig executive. I must know better than that little peon disgruntled driver that I have working, you know, wherever. And we have these Uber tubers come on and they talk about what changes need to be made in order for this to be more effective for the driver. And Uber and Lyft, they're never going to pay attention to it. Don't think that they don't know. That's the problem. We're talking like they don't know. They know. And, you know, we tend to think and talk in terms of, well, you know, Uber is going to, you know, go down as far as a business, and Lyft the same thing, and, you know, whatever else. And there are other companies that are developing business models, as we know, that may in the end be a lot more lucrative and feasible for the rideshare driver as well as the company. All of these things are analyzed and calculated. And you have to remember that at the end of the day, their business model is not with one in which the driver is even accounted for. Their future, they don't see drivers as being part of their future. Therefore, they're going to make whatever accommodations they need to get by if they have to. Hence the AB5 bill and this and that, if they're forced to do certain things. But we're not part of their long-term business model to begin with. Why do you think they're going to change? Why do you think anything that, I don't care whether you have 20,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 or 80,000 subscribers. The bottom line is they're subscribing and they're out there doing the work, getting shafted just like everybody else, because Uber and Lyft keeps on lowering the rates and coming up with creative ideas on how to screw the driver even more. The ultimate impact that they're going to feel is when drivers really stop driving for either one. When they don't have market saturation or driver saturation in these markets. Because guess what? They're going to have to go back to the same basis that they started with. They're going to have to start doing the referral programs again. They're going to have to start paying new drivers a lot more money to come on. The problem is we have too many drivers now. And that's not going to change because too many drivers, although disgruntled, they're hanging on by a thread and they're still out here doing this. And instead of them going out and trying to find other ways of making money, they're sitting here, they're doing what the epitome of insanity means. They get behind the wheel every day and they expect a different result. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to change what you're doing. And I'm not telling people, who feel that this is their only means of income, because it can't be. You've got to be, if you're able to get in this far and work, you're able to go and work for somebody else. And if you feel that being paid $20 or $25 an hour is better worth it than, doing this, go and get a chauffeur's job or a cabbie's job. I don't know. Go drive a bus if you have your CDL. Or stop driving. Maybe driving is not the career path that you need to be on at this point. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, it just never ends, right? Today, I log on with Uber, and now Uber Comfort. I'm eligible to drive for Uber Comfort. And this would apparently be new to the New York City suburbs market, as I'm just receiving the notification. So I say, oh, wow, okay, great. I go and I take a look. And just like they explained, it's a little enhanced option as opposed to a regular X type trip. And it's a way of making a few extra pennies or whatever. And I look at the rates, and based on what they have specified, why would someone who now almost primarily rides or drives on their highest tier, their highest platform, why would I opt to drive Uber Comfort on any day? I would rather sit here for 4 hours with no trips than to do a Uber Comfort ride, which is paying me a fraction more than an Uber X ride. But again, that didn't stop Uber from offering it to me and making it sound like I'm one of the chosen few. Let's understand the psychology of this thing, I'm not saying you have to take it, but I'm saying take it in stride. There's people out here getting mad. Damn Uber and Lyft, they're screwing me. You don't have to work for Uber and Lyft or be an independent subcontractor for Uber and Lyft. And that goes for the folks in California too. Maybe if enough of us quit, maybe they would make a change. But till then, it's not going to happen. Anyway, that's my almost 15-minute long rant or rave. Once again, I appreciate you for sticking around and listening to me. Carry on. Again, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, stay frosty, my friends. And I will catch you on the next video.